Well, there you have it. Mr. Chris Nehikhare joins us now. He's the Director of Public Affairs in the PDP in Edo State, and he joins us today to give his perspective on what's going on in the States. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much.
Well, we just heard from Mr. Ansel Mujezua chronicling, perhaps, yes, if we could describe it as that, what he thinks is wrong in Edo State. And he made some comments too that the PDP seem to be in the wrong here. What's your take on that?
Well, it was actually laughable when I listened to the chairman of APC speak. The truth of the matter is, let us start with court orders. Consistently and over time, Edo State government has consistently rejected court orders, right from when Governor Oshiomhole was inaugurated in 2008. I'll list a couple of cases. Edo State Oil and Gas Company, he forcefully removed the chairman. The chairman went to court with a member of PDP. The court granted that he must go back there as the chairman. Oshiomhole used the police, which they now claim they don't control, which they claim is controlled by the federal government. They used the police to eject the committee on Edo State Oil and Gas. Again, there was an injunction in which he stopped Oshiomhole from using the stadium in Benin. Oshiomhole went there personally and used pliers to cut the gate to gain entrance into a place which a valid court banned him from using. And consistently, this has been the position of Edo State government. Now, on the issue of not having access or not being in control of the police, it's all lies. They control the police. If you permit me, I'll show you pictures here of Mr. Oloyi, Major Oloyi, who is a member of, today the permanent secretary of Edo State government. He was arrested, ordered by Oshiomhole, ordered by the police to arrest him.
Yeah, we know about this.
Okay, now, did he need the permission of the federal government to order police to arrest this man? He is in control of the police, full control of the police.
So you say, are you saying that he used the police to arrest this man?
Yes, he did. Adams Oshiomhole ordered the police in front of cameras to have this man arrested and cuffed. This is him. Was it the IG of police or President Jonathan that ordered the police to make this arrest? Adams Oshiomhole is in full control of Edo State Police Command, and he has used them to oppress members of PDP and all members of Edo State.
No, wait a minute. As at the time this occurred, because we had this on the video then, it wasn't the same commissioner of police that was there.
Has the Nigerian Police changed?
Wait a minute. So it couldn't have been that he's also asking the police to unleash mayhem on the people. In any case, both sides in the assembly complex have accused the police force. The two sides. One is saying that when Razak Momo was being attacked, the police didn't come. That's from the PDP aspect. While the others are saying that when they vandalized that the residence, the police didn't come. So two groups accusing the police. So we can't for sure be talking about a complete takeover of the police by the governor.
I'm telling you now, Governor Adams Oshiomhole recently added the name Eric to his name. Is the control of the Nigerian police. I'm showing you evidence. Eric Oshiomhole is in control of the Nigerian police. This is evidence. I don't know what you're saying, the pushback. We have to get to the root of the matter.
And what's the root?
The root of the matter is Adams Oshiomhole wants to control everything. Is the control of the legislator?
But they say the root is because your party members want him impeached. Well,
impeachment is the legitimate aims of changing government. Is there anything wrong with that? Is it the Constitution?
What's his crime?
Well, I'm not a member of the House of Assembly. But if they say that is the reason why they are killing people, or attempt to kill people, then they will pay for it when they leave government.
Okay.
Impeachment is a legitimate means of changing government, and we all know that.
What can you tell us about the cases that were in court? Because Mr. Jesua did say that some of the cases were struck out, and then the Speaker went ahead and declared the seat
First and foremost,
vacant.
The case in Auchi Court, which he said was struck out, is not struck out. The case is still there. There's a valid injunction, and the case is still on. It's not Justice Giamuso. It is still there. So that is not true. You see, we have to have a history of how the Edo State government behaves. Now, I just showed you Major Oloyi. The government is an intolerant government. That is the way they operate. Now, this same lawyer, after the disgrace he got from Oshiomhole, was employed into his employment as a permanent secretary. And while there, the Nigerian Labour Congress went on strike a few months ago in Edo State. And because they were on strike, they unleashed mayhem and attacked the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress. The chairman himself, Emmanuel Edomoku. They used same thugs, the same one they used on Razak. This is a picture. And that attack was led by Major Oloye and some thugs of the Edo State government. These are facts. It is a consistent thing. They've been building up. They do not want...
Who investigated this? How did you arrive at saying that this is a fact?
This is a fact.
I thought they were just allegations.
Oh, no, not allegations, sir. This man went to... There was... I think people broke... some people went to work at the Ministry of Environment, where Major Oloye is the permanent secretary. Emmanuel Demogu, which is people went there to stop them from going to work, to protest that there's a strike and people cannot be forced to work. And Major Oloye unleashed thugs on him and broke his head.
You know,
this is a fact.
We don't have a lot of time, so let us quickly, cut to the chase as to how this is related to what is happening in the State House of Assembly.
I'm trying to tell you that the state government
even
has
though a lot of
consistently used thugs to settle issues. They've also used, when it's convenient, they use the police. When it's not convenient, they use thugs. Now, on the issue of Razak, if you claim you have someone suspended, even though there's a court injunction stopping you from doing that, you cannot, even if, let's assume now, the suspension is valid. Does the suspension also include evicting him from a house where he pays rent? Those are the personal
Was he evicted?
That was what we were attempting to do.
No, they said that he tried to break into the quarters.
No. Can you break into where you live?
Because the gate was shut.
Can you
Main
break into
entrance.
where you live? No. These are the stories we've concocted by the state government. You can also imagine, assuming he broke into his quarters where he lives. Now, do you beat him to a pulp? Do you attempt to kill him?
No, but has it been verified which group or who was behind that attempt? Because the allegation just making the rounds.
It's not an allegation. He's out of coma, and he has spoken to the police, and he has identified people that led the attack. He's an eyewitness. His wife is an eyewitness, and those that live in his property are eyewitnesses. They have mentioned names of those who led the attack in which he was injured. He's out of coma. So it's no longer a case. And we have to actually talk to the Edo State government to stop fanning the embers of war.
Does that mean that the PDP is sitting idly by and watching thugs go on rampage?
We are. We have no choice, because first of all, we're not in control of the police.
No, but who were those who were then saying the governor should not come to some of those areas?
The
commissioner of police.
Should he come? They were APC legislators in legislative quarters.
We're listening to the PDP chairman in Edo State, and he said that, he was appealing to concerned youths, youths who are concerned over the beating of Honorable Razak Momo, not to take laws into their hands by, attacking the state legislature, complex. Do you think that you might know who these concerned youths might be?
Oh, no. The chairman actually did a statemently thing. He first of all condemned the attack on the legislators' quarters. After that, because there was news the day before also that those that were charged for the assault on or the attempted murder, attempted assassination on Razak Momo were granted bail, and they were charged to court for a very, very minor offense of assault, ordinary assault, for attempted murder. Instead of attempted murder, the charge for they were granted bail in sum of 200,000. And then it's obvious, Razak Momo comes from a constituent.
Just a moment. Are you saying, I need clarification here. Yes. Are you saying that, those whom he mentioned have been picked up already and are already facing justice?
They were arrested by the police, and 24 hours later, they were charged to court for assault. And then the court, Edo Magistrate Court, granted them bail in sum of 200,000 naira for assault. And then
the people that were picked up, were they members of the APC?
Oh yeah, members of the APC, members of the Assembly. Honorable Shaibu was one of them, who has been the person that his name has been recurring since the beginning of this crisis. If you also remember, he's the one that stood in front of the Assembly complex, beckoning thugs to invade the complex. If you remember that, do you remember that? He's the person that stood there beckoning thugs to invade the complex. He's also one of those that we believe is responsible for the vandalization of the House of Assembly complex by removing the roof to make it inhabitable for the legislators to hold plenary. So he was arrested by the police and charged to court for assault. Is it also true then that Honorable Razak Momo has gun running charges running against him in court? Yes, we heard that when he was with ACN, because maybe the culture which they developed working for the governor, because the governor has also claimed that Momo was one of those who rode on his back to become a legislator. So he must have found things in him that he wanted to use, that he believed that he could harness for him to have rode on his back, because the governor right now has a very big back. Everybody that has left his party is crying that he rode on his back. The reason I'm asking this question is we need to be circumspect in terms of the kind of people we have as politicians. Exactly. If we're saying that he had those charges, they're still in court. He had those charges on his neck while he was in the APC and now is a member of the party. Yeah. Are you not afraid that he could bring that sort of culture, if that is his culture, if that's the culture of the APC, that he could bring it into the PDP? We have to know why he was holding, has gone running charges against him. The governor and his attorney general charged him for armed robbery. Now, do you think it was an armed robber? That is why now you should wonder what the government of Edo State was trying to prove. They charged the honorable member of the House for armed robbery. So look at it very well. It wasn't for, I don't know if it was not for gun running, but we understand. It was charged for armed robbery. Just a moment, sir. Yes. We understand that ammunition, guns were found on him. Now I have a problem to say yes or no to that, because what we read in court today is that Honorable was charged for armed robbery by the state government. So we have to actually wonder, was this set up? Why could they charge the honorable member of the House for armed robbery? So those are the areas you should look at. See, consistently the government has tried to rubbish this honorable. Now, even if, let's assume at all costs that it was charged for this, does that validate the fact that he should be attacked and almost murdered in where he lives? And then as we speak, the governor has not found it necessary to say what happened, then let's investigate it. Instead, he's drawing up issues of gun running that happened over a year and a half ago. We all have to look at it this way. Who wants peace and who wants war?